Now guys, some projects that we do, whether it's wet wood, dry wood or otherwise, they get overlated and they can crack. All sorts of things can happen to bowls, even though we try our best to treat them and finish them. This particular bowl, it did have a situation where it was overlated, and I did have something on the outside here that used some epoxy resin, and yeah, it cracked. Long story short, what do we do to repurpose bowls? Well, we can start from scratch, but don't chuck away the whole thing. So what I've got on the lathe here now is a repurposed bowl. I've turned the outside and done nothing on the inside. This project, we're going to be focusing on a little bit more of the carving. Last week I did a video. I quite enjoyed doing it, so I'm going to do it again. Something very, very similar to that at least. Stay with me and watch. Using the Fordham foot control, it's variable speed, high speed and low, and I'm going to use one of the Kutzel balls for dressing up the outside of this bowl. So you can see now that there's various gradients of carving into the actual surface of the bowl. So you've got the large ones and the smaller ones all the way through different gradients. So it gives a nice appearance. Not really concerned about the burn marks at the bottom of these dips. We're going to use a Rust-Oleum chalked ultra matte black on this first. It's a spray can, so we're going to spray this all the way through to give it a background base. Now, it's pretty important to protect your chucks and what have you before you start using spray paint onto the lathe. I've got a black board down the bottom here to protect the lathe top, and some tape around here. Should be okay. Take it off when you're finished doing the spraying. If you've watched my channel for a period of time, you notice I don't really paint my bowls very often. But I'm kind of leaning a bit towards the dark side because I'm liking the colour. It's not black, it's kind of a grey, chalky, as it said on the can. And the indents have come out nice and smooth and don't need to be sanded. And I like the texture within each one of these. You've got kind of green pattern going down through these, so I'm happy with the result. Now, I did consider using a brush. What I want to do is cover the surface with another colour. I'm going to do that right now. But I don't want this next coat to go into these indents. There's not going to be any prevention of that, particularly if I used a brush. So I'm going to use one of this lint-free cloth. It's not porous in any way, and I'm going to kind of wipe it on as the lathe is turning around at a very slow RPM. And we'll see how it goes. The paint I'm going to use is Joe Sonia's Blue Iridescent. I've used this on some bowls before and it comes out very, very nice. You've got to use the flow medium with this. You can't have it as a very thick paint. It's got to have a bit of a liquidy feel to it, so it's a bit of a, you know, try and test sort of situation. About a 20 to 40% mix, so not a lot. Going to leave this to dry for an hour or so and see what it turns out. The thing about Joysonia paints is that the acrylic iridescence doesn't really come to fruition until it's actually dry. But I'm seeing kind of cloth or brush strokes here. I'm not too pleased about that, so we'll see what happens. Keep in mind, guys, that, you know, if you're reconstituting a bowl, if the work that you've done not really happy with, you can go reconstitute it again. Naturally, the bowl's going to get a lot smaller. She's looking a beauty, actually. Turned out pretty well. So, going to turn the inside of the bowl, getting a little bit thinner, and then we're going to finish off with probably some matte finish. 1/2 inch long grind bowl gouge. Give it a bit of sharpening. Bowl gouge run from the rim to the bottom of the bowl, and there are no tool marks. Going to neaten up a little bit, get some sanding done from, I don't know, 120 grit to 400, and then we're going for an internal bowl finish. And as I was saying before, we'll probably use a matte finish poly on all of this just to seal the paint. We can't leave that exposed, but the inside is going to be left al naturel. And now the project comes to an end, and this is the result. I don't mind the look of this. It's came out, you know, it's different, let's say. I mean, it used to be a different type of bowl, and now it's been reconstituted. So now we've got the outside looking vastly different to what it was before. A nice bit of poplar, if I might say, bottom, and the inside came out really nice. And that's a semi-gloss polymer. And I use the Acks paste once it's dry over 24 hours just to give it a bit of a polish. If you look a bit closer, whether you can see the camera there, yep, you can see inside the grooves there, or the dips, the lines, and then the lines on the actual paint, which has now got coatings of semi-gloss polymer, it all matches up. And so if you look at whether you can see close up there, it's come out rather nice. So there you go, guys, that's another one this week. We've got another one coming up next week. I'll do a bit more of this carving. I'm enjoying it, so if you guys are too, certainly put some messages in the comments there. I love reading what you guys say, and been following my channel. So next week, guys, cheers.